Hi Cancer, welcome to your October 2018 general read. 3 card major arcana reading, then one from the swords, one from the wands, one from the pentacles and one from the cups, and then one from the very lovely Wild Kuan Yin Oracle by Alana Fairchild. So, I'm just going to give one last little shuffle. Hope you're well wherever you are and the sun is shining for you. If it is, that's what you want. Who knows? Sometimes one can have too much sun. Okay. And one last cut. Okay, here are the 3 cards for you, Cancer, for October 2018. Strength. The High Priestess. The Moon in reverse. Right. Okay, my opening sentence on this. You're trying very, very hard to keep something down, to keep something at bay. And there's a sense that if you can't do this, you're going to be doing wrong somehow. And that you'll be creating a situation somehow where you are going to be found guilty or feel guilty or seen to be guilty. And the key to power in this situation is to just let it out. Just let it out, let it out, let it out. Because the strong feeling I'm getting from this, Cancer, is that whatever it is that you are hoping is not going to come out is not primarily or solely about you. But that somehow you have been put in a position, or you are in a position whereby it feels like it's your responsibility to keep this thing hidden, blocked, stuffed down, whatever, suppressed, whatever. And that it's your responsibility to make sure it stays that way. And looking at this, it is not. This is not yours. It might be partially yours, but it's not solely yours. Because we come into the reading here with strength. And this is not just, yay, you're strong. This is about keeping overpowering stuff that's coming up from inside us, impulses, kind of, I mean, basically, let's look at the iconography of this. We have the civilized lady with her street dress and her sash, and she's wearing a little crown as well. So this is a kind of female power. Perhaps maternal, but definitely female, definitely relating back to the whole Shakti principle about abundance and diversity and creativity and benevolence. As I say, she's got a dress, her royal sash, her hat and her crown and everything. She is barefoot, so there's a wildness. She's the barefoot queen, and she is very gently and utterly without fear or equivocation, overpowering this wild creature, this lion, that could destroy her with one snap of its jaws. And she's actually got her hands in its mouth, holding its jaws open, and that way it can't do anything. She's got mastery over it. And what this is about the adult in us coming into a position of mature mastery over our angry toddler impulses, represented here by the lion. So this is about keeping control of stuff bubbling up from within us that isn't necessarily civilized or mature or helpful to us as we go about our daily business in the wider world. It's card number 6. It's relatively near the beginning of the tarot cycle. This is about when we become aware that if we're going to achieve what we want to achieve, or whatever it is, and get to that point of total fulfillment of the world, the final card, card number 21, we are going at some point to get hold of ourselves. Get hold of ourselves. Never mind anything that's outside. It's us that we need to have mastery over. This is self-mastery. So that's how we're coming into this. That's the energy that's around us as we come into this reading. This second card in this 3-card spread is the block or drain, the opposing force. And here we have the High Priestess. So this is about kind of very subtle matters of inner morality and the code. Not even the code necessarily. It's more. It's wilder than that. This is about our whole spiritual viewpoint and about our very deep-rooted sense of right and wrong within ourselves. And again, it's very early on in the cycle. This is card number 2. This is what comes after the Magician. We have the 0 card, the Fool, the open road, the empty mind. Then we have card number 1, the Magician, which is when the mind suddenly realizes, aha, I can manifest. I can do stuff. And then card number 2, it needs some regulation, but it's this power of manifestation requires some order and some discipline, but it's not so much from the outside, it's from the inside. It's that first time when the toddler is told no, you can't do that, no, you can't have that. No, you're not allowed to, no, don't put your poo in the saucepan. Sorry to be graphic, but it's about that. It's really, really basic kind of control, and it's self-control. These are 2 really strong cards about self-control. But in the High Priestess here, we have the question of morality involved in it. So there is this sense where we're trying very hard to master ourselves and to keep at bay something in us. And our efforts to do that are being made all the harder, I would say, by this sense of, if we don't achieve this, if we can't control this wild animal, whatever it represents for you, that we will be somehow bad. All right, that's what I'm getting from these 2 cards. This card is the key to power. The final card in this 3-card spread is the key to power. And the key to power here is the Moon in reverse. Now, the Moon is about this, again, it's about stuff bubbling up from underneath. But it's, oh God, it's even deeper. It's deeper than this lion. This is not the rampant, this is the rampant toddler, excuse me, who must be civilized by the adult force. Again, female force. And, they do say the moon is female as opposed to the male being the sun, but then they say Gaia, the earth, is female as well. So who knows? But if this lion represents the rampant toddler, this lobster here in the moon card and these baying dogs represent the subconscious and the ancestral. All right, really, this is the ancestral stuff that we have to hike out and look at, because this is very close to the end of the cycle. All right, this is card number 18 in a 21 card cycle. Now, the lobster, I wondered for a long time about why the lobster was in the moon card. It's just like this random crustacean. It's there, it turns out, well, I believe this is why it's there, because I did some research on it. Lobsters are phenomenally and unusually, in comparison to other sea creatures, similar things like crabs and whatever, they are extremely long-lived. And they spend most of their life, their long life, alone at the bottom of the ocean. And when they shed that shell, it takes them a long time for the shell to come off and for a new shell to form and everything. So they spend a lot of time, as I say, alone in the depths. And here it's come out. Not only has it come out, but it just strikes me, it's bright red, and that means to me it's been cooked. All right? This is about deep, old multi-generational stuff coming to the surface and kind of making everybody a bit mad. Because I mean, you know, when stuff that has been buried over several generations, or over more than one generation, certainly, when stuff that has been buried comes to the surface, and it always does in the end, it always does in the end, when it comes to the surface, it does have this effect of kind of making people go a bit lupo, because the perceived wisdom, the code of conduct of the ancestral group, i.e. the family. This is family stuff. This is family stuff, kids. I really do see this is family stuff, and there's this strong maternal energy here going shh, shh, shh. Don't do this. Don't say this. Don't, just keep a hold of yourself. It's you. It's you. It's you. And you have to learn to control yourself. The truth of it is, this stuff. Let go. Let go. If you let go, as this is all let go, it's in the reverse, so it's falling out. It's not bubbling up, it's falling out. That's the key to power. It is never one person's responsibility in a multi-generational cover-up, and that is really what I'm seeing here. I don't want to go too specific, but that's what I'm seeing. That's what I'm getting. It is never one person in the current setup, in the contemporary generation at work, in which these things are bubbling up. It is never one person's responsibility to hold all that and control it, and that if they don't keep on top of it, it's going to kind of ruin everyone. It will be their fault. That is a false narrative, an utterly false narrative. There's a letting go of this to be done here, and that's the key to power. Wow. Okay, I was just like channeling what was coming through to me. Let's get one from the swords. Okay, 8 of swords. Oh, loved it. You know, not dissimilar to the strength card. It's just like, like, hold on, don't look up, keep your blinkers on. You're stuck, and just stay. This awful feeling of being stuck, but it is it's a fake prison. These swords around like bars, and the rope around the body like a straitjacket, and that blindfold. It's not a real prison. There's a big gap in those swords, and that rope is looser than she knows, and like she can shake it off and rip that blindfold off, and walk away. But it looks to me like there is a strong force keeping you held in this, Cancer, this month. Strong force, and it's a guilt-driven force. That's what I'm getting. Okay, 7 of Wands. Now, yeah, the forces he is defending himself against here are unseen. We can't see who's wielding those 6 wands. There's so many elements to this. We can't see who's wielding the 6 wands, but they are clearly wielding them in a coordinated way, because they're all sticking up at the same time. And he's trying to fight them off. He has a distinct advantage here in that he is in a higher position. He's on higher ground, Cancer. So that is worth bearing in mind. But also worth bearing in mind is that his foot is ever so near the edge of that cliff. So this is not a final standoff by any means, but this is a point, you know, in the 5 of Wands, so in the 5 of Wands, because here we're in the 7, we have these 5 equally weighted, equally endowed figures who are sort of fighting this unwinnable and therefore unlosable battle. Then we've broken through in the 6 of Wands into a sense of having actually achieved something, and that battle being behind us. And here we find in the 7 of Wands, we're back in a defensive position again. But as I say, the advantage here is that one is on higher ground. The disadvantage is that one is very near the edge. And also, as in the moon card here, there's a certain element of not actually being sure who the enemy is here. And that is reflected also in the blindfold on the figure here in the Eight of Swords. You know, there's this, it's very unclear. And that also is reflected in the moon card, where everything is slightly misty. You can't quite make out what it is you're dealing with. That's uncomfortable. But my eye keeps being drawn back to this high priestess here in the center of this spread as the opposing energy, the drain, the block, the underbelly, the shadow side, that which is obstructing us. This is guilt. Guilt that is coming from an outside source, the same way as we don't know who put these swords here. I mean, I doubt she did it. Even however easy it might be for her to walk away, but she's been surrounded by these swords and blindfolded and told she's in a prison, and she doesn't at this point know any better. So there's unknown forces here, there's an unknown force here against which he is defending himself. I mean, he can see it, but we can't. Wow, this is just coming up again and again and again. Ah, is it? No, sorry, irrelevant. Okay, here we have the Eight of Pentacles. So we've got an 8, we've got a 7, we've got another 8. You know, we're quite a long way through this, whatever this is, Cancer, for you. We're quite a long way through it. And the feeling I'm getting from this, from the Eight of Pentacles, is just keep going. Just keep going. You know, the Pentacles represent sort of like karmic returns and karmic fruits for us, and accrued karmic wealth. Just keep going, Cancer, with whatever this is. Just keep knocking it out. Keep knocking your life out. You know, this, he's sitting here, he's on his own, he's absorbed, he's busy, he's methodical. Just keep going, one foot in front of another, because this looks pretty heavy. This looks heavy duty. Okay, and another 8. 8 of Cups. So we've got 3 8s on the table. 8 of Cups. Look, if you're in a situation like this where there is some kind of tectonic shift going on in the generational or the long-term structure, and I really do see this is not just personal, this is to do with a group situation. It might be at work, but I'm getting a strong feeling this is about family. When something kind of slowly shifts in this uncomfortable way, I mean, when tectonic plates shift, it doesn't always lead to an earthquake or a landslide or a tsunami or a volcano or something. It doesn't always lead to a big sort of like pop like that. Sometimes things just move slowly, 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 and every so often there'll be some kind of, you know, one-off event. For example, you know, you've got the Indian subcontinent that's pushing up and up and up north out of the Indian Ocean into the the Eurasian continent, and it's squashing and squashing and squashing up the Himalayas, and that's all still moving. It's still moving. And that's why, you know, they get quite a lot of tectonic stuff going on and quite a lot of landslides and earthquakes and stuff up in the Himalayas, because it's a moving system. I mean, you can't see it moving day to day, but then every so often there will be one big event. But this, to me, is not about a big kind of blow up earthquake event like that. This is about simply becoming aware that there's a gap, there's a contradiction, there's a kind of mismatch, there's two things butting up against each other. in the deeper structure, in the kind of the substructure of a group situation. And as I say, there are attempts to sort of like shut up, just keep it down. And if it all comes out and it all goes to shit, it's going to be your fault, and there's guilt being applied here. I mean, you know, key to power, the moon in reverse is like letting it go and letting it fall out. Like, I would say, let go of those jaws. It's not you they're coming for, love. It's not you. Just saying. But it can be kind of heartbreaking, really, with the Eight of Cups here, and you just kind of just like, oh God, and you just want to walk away. You just want to walk away from the emotional sadness, really. You know, and sometimes it can be a good idea to just get some space from whatever this is going on. Carve out some internal emotional space for yourself. You know, take yourself on a retreat in your mind, if not in actuality, just to get some space, because there's a lot of pressure here. There's tectonic pressure in this reading. You just need to keep going, knocking it out, and just get some space for yourself. Eight of Cups. Okay, I'm going to pull one from the Wild Kuan Yin Oracle now. Okay, I see it. I think this is the one I want. So I'm going to go for it. Oh, wow. All right. Oh, gosh. Remember me, the Divine Mother within. Okay, there's memories here. I mean, she don't look too happy, I've got to say it. She don't look too happy here, but she has happy memories of being a little girl and being spun round in this lovely game, this lovely shared energy with the mother. She's looking back to that and remembering that. Now, this to me is functioning as an absolute antidote to this high priestess in the position of the block, the veil, the drain, the obstruction, the underbelly, and the shadow side of this whole situation. Here, Kuan Yin is giving us an antidote to that. Now, if this is about your mother, there are few things more difficult in life than having a mother who hasn't got your back. I'll put it that way. It is fundamentally, it creates fundamental kind of bedrock difficulties in life. However, it is worth acknowledging those difficulties for what they are and understanding that it's not you. You know, if if the maternal element in your life is not nutritive to you, is not supportive to you, is not encouraging to you, is not a safe place and a place of nurture to you, that is not about you. And more than likely, Cancer, it's not about them either, because if they haven't got it to give, it was because it was never given to them. And I am seeing a multi-generational unhappiness here, but it's not on you. It's not on you. That is like blaming the lava for the volcano. All right? It's just completely irrelevant. The mother spirit, remember me, the divine mother within. Whatever has happened in the family setup, the divine mother resides in all of us, even in the most unhappily damaged situations and maternal elements in life. The divine mother resides with all of us. She is within all of us, and she can be called upon at any time. You know, and the divine mother, not necessarily the biological mother, but the divine mother will never, ever, 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 ever turn us away. And in the light of this reading, I'm going to say now the mantra of Kuan Yin. Here she is. This is her oracle, the mantra of Kuan Yin for healing. Namo Quan Shi Yin Pusa. Right, I'm going to leave it there. Thank you so much for watching, Cancer. I do wish you well. Please like, please share, please subscribe, and please tune in for another reading soon. All best. Take care. Bye-bye.